There's no sister settle it today because there's nothing to settle besides settling in with a good book. And I would say we are all resident book readers, book leaders. But I get to talk today. So I've got 2 for you. I'm a huge fiction, fantasy, romance, novel person, books. So I'm first going to start on one of my favorite books that I've ever written that I read. Are you saying audiobooks aren't real?
No, you said written. Dog.
You said written.
Yeah, so I wrote this.
Eat your donut.
My favorite book. Okay.
You need blood sugar.
One of my favorite books that I've ever read. I read it at a point that I didn't know that I really needed it. And so it changed me and changed my perspective so much. It was Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton.
You guys love that one.
Love that book. And you're going to think it's so much about like romance with men or just romantically. And she does speak on that. But there's so much about it of just friendship and the love you find with friendship and the struggles of female friendships. And I read at a time where I was really going through something with a friend and she was experiencing the same thing in her book. And I think just seeing it written down was just made me feel so like assured that I was like, I'm not crazy. Yeah. And I think every woman should read it. Like, it's just so well done. It's so funny. It's so just quick. Like, I love it. It was also the book that got me to go back to therapy because she talks about therapists and like
she does.
what it did for her. And I was like, I think that would be good for me. And it was great, actually. So I attribute a lot to that book. And I think you've read it. You have it at hard copy too. Like, it's such a great book.
You can just read it in different phases of life and you'll find something that applies to you and you can highlight and mark down different lines and passages. She's a genius. She is incredible. And the first time I read it was actually listening to it and she reads it. So there is something really nice about hearing it in her accent, talking about, the structures of school over in the UK, which is very kind of different to what we have here. But it just makes sense coming from someone that's from there and hearing them read it and tell her own stories. And that book shook me to my core. I love it. And then I read it again recently because I wanted to physically hold it and highlight and read and like take my time with it. No matter where you are in life, it will speak to you in a certain way. So that's an excellent call out for Dre's book club today.
Book.
What else you got for us?
Okay, my fun romance one. And I'm probably so many of you have read it if you're at least reading, if you're on Book Talk. And so I'm sorry if it's repetitive.
I'm nervous.
But I read this.
Ice Planet Barbarians.
No.
I love those. I love
that
them.
can be their segment. I read half of that book and I couldn't. And also I refused to read that book because I was like, I don't need that on my Kindle. Like, I don't need that on my like internet history.
Boring.
And so as a gag gift for my birthday, Olivia got me Ice Planet Barbarians so I could read it.
And you only got halfway into it?
Yeah, I couldn't.
I bought her a physical book and she disrespects me like that.
I love that.
And then I was trying to give it away recently. I'm gonna keep putting that on my shelf.
It's
I'm
hilarious.
sorry.
Okay.
Regift it.
Someone will enjoy that.
Well, here's the problem that I ran into is that the bookstore I went to buy books weren't purchasing books that day. And I was like, I'm not lugging this back to my apartment. And so we were trying to find like a free little library nearby to drop it off in. And then we found one. We walked to it. The way it was inside a kid's playground.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I got to hang on to this.
You got to hang on to that.
I don't know where it is now, actually.
The gift that just keeps on giving.
You should have signed it. Like Adriana's Ice Planet Barbarians.
Yeah.
People
If found, please return.
No,
my book I found, I think maybe during the pandemic, and it consumed me. It was The Deal by Elle Kennedy. It's a hockey romance series.
Oh, Adriana loves a hockey romance.
I love a sports romance. I love a fake marriage romance. All of that.
I can't read sports romances because I'm like, that would not happen. That's actually against safe sport.
Yeah.
The team doctor's doing what? That is really not good.
That's crazy.
That's illegal.
That's a lawsuit.
So I try reading these and I cannot get down with it.
It's tough. This one was... Sometimes when it's like they're in college, it's a bit better because it's not like, I feel like I know less about like the the systems for that, so I'm not like, oh, couldn't it be that?
Right.
NCAA. I don't know enough about
Literally,
the NCAA.
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
this case, Alona knows too much.
But I've read all of those, and then I've started to read the spinoffs. Like, it's
What are the spin-offs about? Hockey?
their
still?
kids.
Their kids fall in
Yeah.
love? Adriana.
It's multi-generational.
This is 20 years in the future.
Reading is a hobby
Yeah.
to a point. That's crazy.
No, it's, and I will say, when I read those books, I was like, this is the best series I've ever read.
No way.
Eating it up. Like, I was like, this is entertainment. This is so good. And then I reread those sometimes.
Have I read it?
I don't know.
Deal.
If
Have you read it?
No.
The Deal. That's not my favorite one though.
Oh, that's the start.
I think
of
that's
the series?
the first one. Yeah. What's the one? I can't remember. The one with the Brianna, I think. I can't remember them. Because they all have like the deal, the score, the goal. So I can't also even sometimes remember the characters' names. I'm gonna be like, was it the Insecure Freshman one?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And all the characters present in this universe, like you'll hear mention of other characters from other books in other books.
I love when they're connected like
No,
that.
and it's like that.
And do you love it? Or you're like, hey, Pookies, when you see your favorite
And it's
characters.
like they're in the relationship, and I'm like, oh my god, they're so happy together still. But what I was saying is, I sometimes reread them, and I'm like, ooh, this isn't what I. Well, I told too many people about this,
Yeah.
and now I'm telling more people about it. But I think it's a good like entrance.
Okay. Into hockey romances.
Hockey romances, or just a
Sport
quick
romances.
read.
Okay.
You need something fun.
Yeah. That's how I feel. The way Ilona feels about sport romances in that way. It's how I feel about like office romance culture ones where like, I'm like, no. That's
Me
wrong.
with any pregnancy trope.
The hallway? No. I mean, the stairwell? No. HR.
Sometimes when I'm reading a book and you ask me about it, and then you read it, I'm like, Olivia critiques them sometimes a little too much, and I'm like, it's not
Because we
that
all have our own
serious.
taste.
She does.
I read stuff that you guys
It
don't
feels
like.
a little judgmental.
Sorry, you guys
But
judge my books too.
We also don't read the best books. Like I think Adriana and I read. She probably reads the worst sort of books. I read also the worst sort of books.
I don't judge it.
She
but-
also will read like autobiographies, memoirs.
I read real books too.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
name
have
the
my
last one
Libby
you've
app.
read.
5 Broken Blades. Great book, actually. I think
When did you
should
read it?
that a month ago.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fair.
Yes.
Touche.
That's why I have my Libby app, and so whenever I get something off hold, that's my real book time.
What hurts for me is when I do read something that isn't considered like highbrow and it is like a romance, and I'm like, oh, my sisters would love this because they read trash. Like, and then they both are like, it wasn't that good. I'm like, what? It's amazing.
Which one did you really like that we didn't?
Sexy Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Oh, she loved that one.
Those books were so
Death.
good.
Tell them the theme of that, because that's kooky.
No, go.
Basically, right? Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, famine, what is it?
Pestilence.
Pestilence, death,
Death.
and war, right? Now imagine that
Is Plague and Pestilence one? Because
I think it's Pestilence,
Are they
yeah.
the Four Horsemen?
Yeah.
Yes, Four
So
Horsemen.
Pestilence and Plague. Are
Famine is one.
Famine, pestilence, war, death.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You get it.
You don't
Totally
really
war.
get it
But
anyway.
like those, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. But imagine them hunky, right, and handsome, and they're
Riding
here to destroy the
horses.
earth. Like it's an apocalypse. That's crazy. Except they fall in love with a human woman, and that she changes their. This is insane. They're like their quest to destroy, and they realize like love is real, and the human race deserves to exist, and they are so good.
It's usually after they've killed like one
it's
continent.
it's like
No, they're
these dudes
actively killing
killing thousands of people,
but they're not killing her. You know what I mean?
War beats her.
No, he didn't.
I
Did
guess
he?
doesn't. No, I mean, read at your own risk. That's some sort of stuff that the girls would love. Though.
But that's the kind of thing
I
where-
think I read 2 or 3 of them.
They were good. I loved them, but that's the kind of thing that I read that I was like, oh, my sisters are gonna love this. This is right up their alley, and they were both so judgmental of it. I was like, okay, Adriana, I'm not gonna put you on blast for the shit I know you're reading, but yeah, what the hell?